Hello everyone. Today I am here with you all with the practice question of last chapter of our book, that is probability. We are already having a video on the concepts of probability. In the video we have incorporated all the sample space possible for the events. So if you have not seen the video, please watch the video so that it will be easy for you to understand that what all possible outcomes could be there for any of the event. Now let's see the questions. A letter is chosen at random from the English alphabets. Find the probability that the letter chosen succeeds V. So we know that the English alphabets, total number of English alphabets are your 26. That means the sample space will be having your 26 outcomes will be there. Sample space will be having your A, B, C, D. All these are your sample space. This means in the sample space, total number of 26 outcomes are possible. Now the favorable outcomes are your letters that succeeds V. So after V, how many letters are coming? W, X, Y, Z. These are the letters which is favorable for the condition. The event is the letter which is succeeding V. So the letters which succeeds V are your W, X, Y, Z. That means total 4 possible outcomes are there which is favorable for the event. We know that the probability for any of the event is total number of favorable outcomes upon total number of possible outcomes. Over here, total number of favorable outcomes are your 4 and total number of possible outcomes are your 26. So probability of the event, if we are taking this as the event, so probability of the event will be total number of favorable outcome, that is your 4, divided by total number of possible outcome, that is your 26. So it will be 2 upon 13. 2 upon 13 will be the probability for choosing a letter which succeeds V. The second question is, in a throw, a pair of dice, what is the probability of getting a doublet? So in a throw, we are taking two dices we are having. Pair of dice means we are having 2 dice. We are throwing 2 dice. When we will be throwing 2 dice, in the previous video we have discussed, then whenever we are throwing 2 dice, there are 36 possible outcomes are there. On the first dice, if there is 1, on the second dice it could be 1. If on the first dice it is 1, it could be, on the second dice it could be 2. On the first dice if it is 1, on the second dice it could be 3. Like that, if on the first dice it is 1, so total 6 possibilities could be there. Similarly, if on the first dice 2 is there, then again there are 6 possibilities. On the second dice, either it could be 1 or it could be 2 or it could be 3, like that. Similarly, we will be seeing if on the first dice it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the second dice, again there will be 6 condition. It could either be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means total number of 6 into 6, 36 total possible outcomes are there. Now, what is the favorable outcome for this condition? It is the probability of getting a doublet. What doublet is? When both the dice is having the same number. So 1, 1, it is one of the condition. 2, 2 is one of the condition. Then your 3, 3 will be the condition. So what the favorable conditions will be? If on both the dice 1 is coming, if on both the dice 2 is coming, if on both the dice 3 is coming, 4, 5 or 6 is coming. That means total favorable outcomes are your 6. Total possible outcomes is 36 and total favorable outcome is your 6. So probability of the event, if the event is E, then probability of the event is total number of favorable outcome, that is your, this is the favorable outcome. Total number of favorable outcome is your 6 and total number of possible outcome is your 36. So probability will be your 1 upon 6. The next question is, a box contains 5 red marbles, 8 white marbles and 4 green marbles. One marble is taken out of the box at random. What is the probability that the marble taken out will be, first is your red, second it is white, or third it is not green. Now see, total number of marbles are your total marbles. Over here we can see the total number of marble is 5 are red, 8 is white and 4 is your green. Total it is 17 marbles are there. That means total possible outcomes is your 17. Total possible outcome is your 17. Now for the first condition, it is your marble should be your red. So when marble should be red? Out of these five marbles, if any of the marble we are picking, then it will be your favorable condition. That means total favorable condition will be your 5 and total possible outcome is your 17. So for the first condition, when the marble could be your red, it is your probability of the event is your 5 is the favorable condition and total possible conditions are your outcomes are your 17. So for the first, if the marble is red, it is your 5 upon 17. Probability will be your 5 upon 17 because favorable outcomes over here is your 5 and total possible outcome is your 17. The second part, it is white. Now how many favorable conditions are there? For white, favorable conditions is your favorable outcomes is your 8. 8 is the favorable outcome. So probability of the event is 8 number of favorable outcome upon total number of possible outcome, that is your 8 upon 17. Always we need to write the formula that probability of the event is total number of favorable outcome divided by total number of possible outcome. Sample space even we need to write it out. Now the third is, it should not be green. If it is not green, that means red is even favorable condition and white is even your favorable condition. It should not be green. That simply means it could be red, it could be your white. That means favorable condition is your 5 plus 8. That is your 13 is the favorable condition. If out of these 13 marbles, any of the marble we are picking, it is your favorable condition. And total possible conditions are your 17. That means probability of the event will be total number of favorable condition, that is 13, over total number of possible outcomes, that is your 17. So the probability will be 13 over 17. So this is how we will be solving these type of questions. Now let's see the next three questions. A box contains 100 discs numbered from 1 to 100. If one disc is drawn at random from the box, then the probability that it bears a prime number less than 30 is. So a box is containing 100 discs, which is numbering from 1 to 100. That means possible outcomes. What all the possible outcomes could be? The sample space could be your 1, 2, 3, any number could come till your 100. That means total your 100 possible outcomes are there. Total 100 numbers are there, which is your possible outcomes. Now what is the favorable outcomes? Favorable outcomes is the prime numbers which are less than 30. So the favorable outcomes will be 2 is the prime number, 3 is the prime number, 5 is the prime number, 7 is the prime number, then 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, 29. These are the prime numbers which are less than 30. So these all are the favorable outcomes. So how many they are in number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So favorable outcomes are your 10. Total 10 numbers are there which are favorable. If out of any these number will be picked, it will be your possible outcome, it will be a favorable outcome. So probability for the event will be probability of getting a prime number less than 30 is total number of possible favorable outcome. Favorable outcomes are your 10 and total number of possible outcomes. There could be 100 possibilities could be there. So total number of possible outcomes is your 100. So probability will be your 1 upon 10 will be the probability. The next question is, a month is selected at random from a year. The probability that it is a May or July. Now see, if we are selecting a month from a year, that means possible outcomes could be either it could be January, it could be February, it could be March till your December. That means total number of possible outcomes is your 12. Any month could come, any month could be selected. So if we are selecting January or February or March, total 12 months we are having. So total possible outcomes is your 12. That is the sample space. Now what is the favorable months? Favorable conditions is your either May or July. If any of these 2 months is selected, it is a favorable condition for us. That means total favorable outcomes are your 2. So what is the probability of getting either May or July? So probability will be your total favorable outcomes is 2 and total possible outcomes is 12. So 2 upon 12, that is 1 upon 6 will be the probability that the selected month is either May or July. The next question, a die is thrown once. Find the probability of getting, first part is a prime number, second a number lying between 2 and 6, and the third is an odd number. Now we know that whenever we are throwing a die, so there are total 6 possible outcomes could be there. Sample space could be either 1 could come, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Any of these number will be at the top. That means whenever we are throwing a die, total possible outcomes could be your 6. Total 6 possible outcomes are there. Now for the first condition, that is your A. For the first condition, what is the favorable numbers? What is the favorable conditions? Prime number is there. Out of these, which all are the prime number? See over here, 2 is the prime number, 3 is the prime number, 5 is the prime number. That means total favorable outcomes are your 3. Out of these 6 numbers, if either 2 will come or 3 will come or 5 will come, these 3 are the favorable for your condition, that is even, that is your to get a prime number. Now, the probability of getting a prime number will be total number of favorable outcomes, that is your 3, divided by total number of possible outcome, that is your 6. Or we can say probability of getting a prime number is your 1 upon 2. The second is a number lying between 2 and 6. It is lying between. That means we won't be considering 2. We won't be considering 6. The favorable numbers, the favorable outcomes could be your either we are getting 3, 4 or 5. These are the favorable outcomes because these are the numbers which is lying between 2 and 6. So total your favorable outcomes is your 3 is the total favorable outcomes. So probability of getting a number between 2 and 6 will be total favorable outcome, that is your number is 3, and total possible outcome, that is your 6. That means probability will be your 1 upon 2. Now the third question is your an odd number. What is the probability of getting an odd number? Now what all the favorable outcomes could be there? Over here we can see the odd numbers are 1 is odd number, 3 is odd number, 5 is odd number. These 3 are the odd numbers. Either 1 will be picked or 3 or 5. If any of the 3 numbers are coming on the die, in that case it will be the favorable condition. That means total number of favorable conditions is your 3 in this case. Now what is the probability of getting an odd number? It will be total favorable outcome, that is 3. Total possible outcomes, that is your 6. That means probability will be your 1 upon 2. So this is how we have to find what the sample space could be. That means what all the favorable outcomes, what all the possible outcomes are there, and for the event, what all the favorable outcomes are there. Once we know the total possible outcomes and total favorable outcomes, it is very easy to get the probability of the event. Now let's see the next 3 questions. Tony and Mona go to an ice cream parlor where they find 5 different varieties of ice creams. If they order 1 ice cream each, the probability that they both order the same variety of ice cream is. Over here it is given to us is that Tony and Mona both are going to the ice cream parlor where there are 5 different varieties of ice creams are there. So first of all we are assuming that the 5 varieties of ice creams are your A, B, C, D, E. These are the 5 varieties of ice cream. Now both of them will be taking 1. What is the probability that both will have the same variety of ice cream? Now in our previous video of the probability, we have learned that by the fundamental principle of your multiplication, if there is an event which can be done in your m ways and there is another event which can be done in your n ways in succession, that means one of the event is done, after that second event will be done by any of the n ways, then in succession the event could be done by m into n ways. This we had learned in our previous video. So over here, first of all, we are assuming that Tony is selecting any of these ice cream. So there are how many options are there? 5 options are there. That means value of m is your 5. And once he has selected, then your Mona is selecting any of the ice cream. Again, she is having 5 options. That means value of n is also 5 over here. That means total 25 options are there of their selection of the ice cream. Suppose again I am saying if Tony is selecting A. Suppose Tony is selecting A, your Mona could select A. Mona could select B, Mona could select C, she can select D also and E also. Now if Tony is selecting B, again the option for Mona is again 5, that is B, both of them will select B. If he is selecting B, she could select C. Like this, there could be your 5 options again. That simply means there could be your 25 possible outcomes of selection of the ice cream. Now from these 25 possible outcomes, your favorable outcomes will be when both are selecting AA, when both are selecting this BB. Again it could be if both are selecting C type of your ice cream, if both are selecting D type of ice cream, or if both are selecting E type of ice cream. So total possible outcomes is your 25, and total favorable outcome will be your when both are selecting same types of your ice cream. That is, these are the 5 favorable conditions or the favorable outcomes. So probability will be total number of favorable outcomes, that is your 5, over total number of possible outcomes, that is your 25. So it will be 1 upon 5. The next question, a bag contains 8 green balls and some yellow balls. If the probability of drawing a yellow ball is 3 times of a green ball, then find the number of yellow balls in the bag. Over here it is given to us that number of green balls is 8, and some yellow balls is there, and we need to find what sum is, means how many yellow balls are there. So we are assuming that suppose the yellow balls is your x, number of yellow balls is x, so total number of balls will be 8 is yellow, and we have taken that the yellow balls is your x. So green plus yellow, that is total number of balls will be your 8 plus x. Over here it was given that we are having 8 green balls. We have assumed that we are having x yellow balls. So total balls will be your 8 plus x. So this is your total possible outcome. We are picking any of the ball. So total how many possibilities are there? Your 8 plus x balls could be there. So any of these ball could be picked. Now the probability of getting a green ball. So we are taking it as PG, that is the probability of getting a green ball. It is total number of favorable outcome, that is out of your 8 plus x balls. If any of these balls will be selected, it will be the favorable condition. So probability of getting a green ball is your total number of favorable condition divided by total number of possible outcomes, that is your 8 plus x. This is the probability of getting a green ball. Now what is the probability of getting a yellow ball? Probability of getting a yellow ball is your total number of your favorable outcomes. Favorable outcomes is your any of these x balls will be picked. If any of these x ball will be picked, it will be your favorable outcome. So total number of favorable outcome is your x, and total number of possible outcome is your 8 plus x. So this is the probability of getting a yellow ball. Now it is given to us that the probability of drawing a yellow ball is 3 times of the green ball. That means probability of getting a yellow ball, this probability is 3 times of getting a green ball. That simply means if we are going to multiply this part, this probability by 3, both of them will become equal, because right now this probability is 3 times of this probability. That simply means if we will multiply this by 3, both of them will become equal. So according to your question, 3 times of your 8 upon 8 plus x, it is equivalent to x over 8 plus x. Now if we'll multiply, it will become 8 3s are 24 over 8 plus x is equivalent to x upon 8 plus x. This 8 plus x could be cancelled, both are same. That simply means value of x is your 24. That means we are having 24 yellow balls. This is how we can find it out. Now the next question, if a letter is selected at random from the letters of the word foundation, this is a word, from this a letter is to be selected. What is the probability of the letter selected being a repeated letter? That means what the probability we are having of getting a repeated letter, that means a number, the letter which is repeating again. Now, how many letters are there? First of all, what is the total possible outcomes? Total possible outcomes, how much it could be? First of all, we'll be selecting that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Total possible outcomes could be your 10. Now, which letter is repeating again? So, we can see O is repeating and your N is repeating. O and N both are repeating. So, the favorable outcomes will be, what the favorable outcomes will be? Either this O will come, this N will come, or this O will come, or this N will come. All these four are your favorable conditions, favorable outcomes. So the probability of getting a letter which is repeating, that will be, probability will be your total number of favorable outcomes, that is your 4, over total number of possible outcomes, that is your 10, or we can say it will be 2 upon 5. Over here, any of these 10 letters will be selected. That means total possible outcomes is your 10. And now what is the favorable outcome? If this O will be selected, if this N will be selected, if this O will be selected, or this N will be selected. If any of these four will be selected, it will be the favorable outcome. So total favorable outcomes will be of 4 and total possible outcomes will be your 10. So probability will be your 4 upon 10, or we can say it to be 2 upon 5. Now let's see the last three questions from the chapter. A card is drawn from a pack of well-shuffled deck of 52 playing cards. The probability that the number on the card is a perfect square is. So we know that in the playing cards, total of 52 cards are there. And out of these 52, we are selecting any one card. That means total possible outcomes will be your 52. Now, what is the favorable outcomes? How many numbers of favorable outcomes will be there? Favorable will be when the card is a perfect square number. We know that in the playing cards, there are 4 types of suits are there. And in every suit, there are 13 cards are there. One is your ace, then your jack, king and queen. These 4 are the face cards, and except these, the number cards are even there. The number cards are starting from 2 to 10. That is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These 13 cards are there in every suit. Now over here in these number cards, which numbers are your perfect square? If we will be selecting either 4 or 9, these two are the numbers which are your perfect square numbers. Now means from every suit, if either 4 will come or 9 will come, then it will be our favorable condition. Now total number of 4 suits are there, and in every suit we are having 2 cards which are favorable. Now in 4 suits, how many cards will be there which will be favorable? That is 4 multiplied by 2. Total number of 8 cards are there out of 52 which are favorable to us. Now see the probability of getting a perfect square number. Total number of favorable outcome, that is your 8, divided by total number of possible outcomes, that is your 52. This is the probability of getting a card which is a perfect square. Now if we are going to divide it by 4, 4 2s are 8, 4 1 4 13. That means probability of getting a perfect square card is your 2 upon 13. This will be the probability. The next question is, the probability of getting a bad egg in a lot of 400 eggs is 0.035. The number of bad eggs is. Over here it is given that if we are selecting any of the bad egg, the probability is your 0.035. Automatically probability is already given to us. It is equivalent to 0.035. And total number of eggs is your 400. That means total possible outcomes could be your 400. This is even given to us. Total eggs is your 400. This is total possible outcomes. Now how many bad eggs is there, that we need to find it out. So suppose we are assuming, let number of bad eggs is your x. There are x number of bad eggs is there, that we are assuming. Now we know that probability of getting a bad egg, which is equivalent to 0.035 as given in the question, it is equivalent to total number of bad eggs divided by total number of x. That means total number of bad eggs will be your favorable condition for this event. So this is your x upon total number of x is your 400. That means it is your total possible outcomes. Total number of possible outcomes is 400, and for a bad egg, total number of favorable outcome is your x. which is even your number of bed eggs. So x will be, if we will cross multiply, x will be 400 multiplied by 0.035. If we will remove this decimal, 1000 will come in the denominator, 2 zeros cancelled, 2 2 is 4, 2 5 is 10, 5 7 is 35. So value of x, that is number of bed eggs, will be 2 multiplied by 7, or we can say total 14 bed eggs are there. Out of this 400, total 14 eggs are there which are bed. Now the last question. A box contains 100 shirts, of which 88 are good. Number of good shirts are your 88. Total number of shirts, total shirts is your 100. 8 have minor defects. So minor defects, how many shirts are having? Minor defect, it is of 8 shirts, and 4 have major defects. Major defects, it is of 4 shirts. Now Ramesh, a shopkeeper will buy only those shirts which are good. Means Ramesh will be buying only shirts which are good. But Keval, other shopkeeper, will not buy the shirts with major defects. That means Keval could purchase even the good shirts, or he can even purchase the shirts with the minor defects also, because he is not buying the shirts with the major defects. Now a shirt is taken out of the box at random. Out of this 100 shirts, one of the shirt is taken out of the box at random. That means total possible outcomes is your 100. Out of this 100, any of the shirt will be picked or selected. That means total possible outcomes is your 100. Now what is the probability that Ramesh will buy the selected shirt? Now for the first, Ramesh will buy the shirt, so Ramesh will buy only the shirts which are good. That means for him, for the Ramesh, if he is going to select the shirt, then in that condition 88 will be the favorable condition, because he will only buy the shirts which are good in condition. That simply means for him total favorable conditions will be 88. So probability will be total favorable numbers, total favorable outcomes, that is your 88, divided by total possible outcomes, that is your 100. If we will divide it by 4, 4 2s are 8, 22 over 25. The probability that Ramesh will select the shirt is your 22 over 25, because he is only selecting the shirts which are good in condition. Now the second is Keval will buy the selected shirt. Now Keval could buy the good shirt also and the shirts with the minor defect also. So favorable numbers will be for him. Favorable conditions could be your 88, that is your good shirts, and shirts with the minor defect, that is your 8. That means total 96 are his favorable conditions or the favorable outcomes. That means out of 100 shirts, if any of these 96 shirts will be selected, then he'll be taking the shirt. In that case, probability will be total number of favorable outcomes, that is your 96, divided by total number of possible outcomes, that is your 100. Again, if you will divide it by 4, 4 2s are 8, and then it is your 9, 4 4 is 16 over 25. That means probability that Keval will select the shirt will be your 24 over 25. This is the probability. This is how these type of questions will be done. Hope it is clear to you that how to solve questions based on the chapter. So till now we have completed 28 videos of your class 10th, in which we have taken 14 lecture questions, lecture videos, and 14 your practice questions videos we have taken. Hope you are liking the videos. It is helpful for you in the preparation of board examination. So please share these videos with your friends also, so that it will be beneficial for them even. Thank you.